All right, friends, let me now continue from where we were. So, what I had said is that life is all about learning and growing. And in the course of learning and growing, there are a lot of positives that come to us. There are a large number of negatives that we realize. And जब हम अपने ऑफिस में काम करते हैं, घर में काम करते हैं, you and me are operating as an individual. वो आपका स्टेटस होगा one or the other type of leader. At one or the other ladder of leadership. किस ladder पे depend करता है your age, stage, knowledge, appointment and so many more things. But you and me have been leaders right from our childhood. और धीरे धीरे as we have grown up, we realize that you and me have become specific set of leaders. We have our traits very clearly laid out. And at times, we don't even know that if there is a gap of leadership within me. मैं समझता हूं कि मुझे आता है. And that's why when I speak to my subordinates, I speak to my children, I think that I am Mr. Know-all. पर ऐसा है नहीं. In heart of heart, we all understand, we all know that there are shortcomings in all of us. Now, what are those shortcomings? That's what we need to identify. And since leadership is a very subjective matter, इसको identify करना, measure करना थोड़ा सा मुश्किल हो जाता है. And when we look at how we can self-diagnose these gaps, that's where the top leaders come into play. Top leaders वो मिलेंगे आपको जिंदगी के अंदर जिन्होंने खुद का डायग्नोसिस किया है, खुद को समझा है, खुद की कमियां समझी है और वो फ्रेमवर्क अपने साथ में रख करके फिर अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन के अंदर खुल करके काम किया है. इसकी वजह से there is a lot of criticism at times. They get flags also for this. But that's where you and me are paid for. You and me are made of. If top leadership doesn't take initiative and decision, who else will? And therefore, there is a need to understand this. And we will do the self-diagnosis today. I shall be able to give you a practical tool of how you can use it on daily basis. Why I say Monday is part of it, but otherwise daily use. And there is a sudden blockages. There are patterns which are available in you and me. Let's understand and identify. I'm shooting a quick poll, a quick question for you and me to understand. And I would want all of you to please participate and be active in answering. And that's how the interactive game will be very, very interesting. अगर हम बातचीत करते रहें, chat box का इस्तेमाल कीजिएगा. I've written one very small, simple question. कि have you been denied a place of honor, a privilege that you felt deserved in your life, और आपको अपनी जिंदगी में वो चीज नहीं मिली है जो आप डिजर्व करते थे? Please rate yourself from 1 to 10. अगर आपको डिनाई किया है, राइट 10. अगर डिनाई नहीं किया है जिंदगी में और आपको सब कुछ मिला है, राइट 1. अगर आपको कभी कभी जिंदगी में वो प्रिविलेजेस, वो प्लेस, वो प्रमोशन, वो ऑनर जो मिलना था और नहीं मिला, प्लीज रेट इट ऑन द हायर साइड. I can see a lot of more people who have joined. Sunil ji ke naam se I can see Jackie has joined. So let me open the chat box. Please keep answering in the chat box. That will make my and your job easier. Yeah. Yeah, I have some responses. Yeah, 8, 9. Yes, yes. Pratima ji, yes, thank you very much. All others who have not been able to, please write. If you have got everything in life, answer is 0 or 1. Thank you, Dr. Narinder Krishnapalli. Thank you so much. So what I observe is everybody who has answered is above 7 or above 7. That means there have been a lot of places in life. There have been a lot of privileges in life which you deserved. आपको वो मिलना चाहिए और नहीं मिला. If that is the case, this webinar is for you. So what you're going to actually use is this webinar will be able to use. And अब मैं आपको दूसरा सवाल पूछ रहा हूँ, very simple question, कि अगर have you ever been passed over for a promotion or again place of honor that you felt you deserved? Yes, more than once. Answer one. If you've been overlooked once, say yes, once. If you have not been overlooked at all in your life और आपको वो सब मिला है जो आप चाहते थे जिंदगी के अंदर, you can write say 3 कि नहीं, मुझे तो कभी प्रॉब्लम नहीं हुई, मुझे सब कुछ मिला है जिंदगी में, लेकिन मैंने औरों को पास ओवर होते देखा है, उनको प्रमोशन मिलना चाहिए था, नहीं मिला है. That you've seen. And the fourth is, I am worried it can happen to me. Please shoot your answers in the chat box. That will help us understand more closely which side of the tray you are in. You have been passed over more than once, or you've not been passed over, but you've seen others getting passed over. So you put your answer as 1, 2, 3, or 4 in the chat box. Please go ahead. Yeah. Yes, please. I've started getting the chat box answers. Very nice. 2, 1. Right. You would have been passed over yourself, or you've seen others. Yes. Kadir, thank you very much. Kadir. Pratimaji, thank you very much. Dr. Narendra, thank you. Thank you so much for being very honest in talking about oneself. And unless you and me talk about these things, we cannot come out of this. ये वो black box है जिसमें से बाहर निकलना बहुत जरूरी है, और बाहर निकलने के लिए बात करना बहुत जरूरी है. तो once again,
क्या है, कैसी जबान तुम्हारी हो जाती है गुस्से में?
Sanchit ji, can you please put your microphone at rest and put it on mute, please? Sanchit, please. Yeah, thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. Heartiest welcome, Sanchit ji. You can participate and write. Yeah. So let me go ahead and say that all of us have been through this. Majority have said either once or more than once. So what happens in life? If somebody is writing on the screen, it is visible here. So I'll request people not to scratch on the screen or write anything on the screen. You can use the chat box. तो व्हाट आई एम सेइंग, अगर हमको जिंदगी के अंदर बिट्रेल मिला है, झटका लगा है, अगर प्रमोशन मिलना चाहिए था नहीं मिला है, योर डिजर्व्ड प्लेस ऑफ ऑनर मिलना चाहिए था नहीं मिला है, यू नो व्हाट, दैट्स द शॉकिंग ट्रुथ. एंड द ट्रुथ सेज दैट इट इज द सेम ओल्ड थिंकिंग एट इट अगेन. व्हाई डू यू गेट स्टक? व्हाई डू आई गेट स्टक where I should not have been? I get stuck because of no fault of yours. Because a study done by Harvard, from where I have taken this information, says that 73% of leaders were ready for the next level. You are capable, but you did not get the place you deserve. So that means there was something in your leadership, there's something in your personality which has prevented. What is that? How do you measure that? That's exactly what we shall be talking. And only 12% got promoted in 3 years. So see the level of failures in life. And when you look at these failures, you realize that problem is not your technical ability. You're technically very sound, you're very good. But the problem is this invisible gap in your leadership style. I have a lot of clients. In fact, 2 of them should be joining anytime. Highly skilled software engineer who's worked for 10 years in US, comes back, he says, I'm not getting promotion. I'm not getting the place where she deserves. Why? He's highly qualified technically. But when it comes to leadership, there's so many things that she realized while working with me that she could have done better than her mates, her batchmates. She's far too good. But the batchmates got through just because of these soft skills. Dr. Pratima will understand when you talk of soft skills, she teaches those soft skills. कि किसकी एक वजह से आप किसी पर्सनालिटी क्लैश में आ सकते हैं. आप किसी उस पर्सनालिटी प्रोफाइल में आ सकते हैं जहां आपकी टेक्निकल एबिलिटीज को साइड में रख दिया जाता है. What is that invisible gap? That's exactly what we should be saying. And it's not actually what you think. You may be a high class leader, but most of us think that I need more experience. The same lady I was talking about, she's so highly experienced in software that now she says, sir, I will do another MBA. I said, hell, after 15 years of service, you already have so much of experience, and if you want to spend another year and a half or two in MBA, when will you actually deliver? I'm not good at office politics. Office के अंदर बहुत politics होती है. I am not made for it. No, it's not office politics. It's your and my ability to understand the environment. And if you are able to understand the environment, you just have to navigate. आपको रेलवे स्टेशन जाना पड़ता है, कहीं पर अगर रोड ब्लॉक लगा हुआ है तो क्या आप रेलवे स्टेशन नहीं पहुंचते? You take alternate routes. That's exactly what is to be done in life. He says, my boss doesn't recognize me. I'll tell you, there's a major problem. Boss doesn't recognize. Are you waiting for the boss to recognize and then you start working? No. The problem is here. Recurring problem indicates that it is I am who is the problem. And for no reason, you want more and more certificates. I can count on, I'm talking of a real life story where a subordinate of mine, a colonel, I'm calling him Colonel Sharma, being the most common name, Sharma Verma, and so on. Brilliant officer, 22 years of service, excellent in delivery, wonderful. But his team did not believe it. The trust did not exist. He was always promoted on merit, but as a leader, always done it. What happened? He got blocked. He actually got blocked till he met me. And when he took this mentorship of mine and he realized his gap, and that's he says, my job of task mastership, without the connection with the people, without my team, was the gap. How do you cover this gap? And when we worked together, we found that he could balance, he learned to balance both the people and the task. And when he did that, then there was no problem. And his transformation with me in 90 days, wherein he achieved all in his life that he wanted to. And now he himself is a mentor to others. So the life goes on. The issue is, have you been able to identify your gap? So let's find out your and my gap. Let's make first attempt. I promise you that I'll identify your gap. So I have attempted to identify some gaps which you may like to resonate with. You may identify where you are. That whichever position you are in your organization, are you thinking strategically? स्ट्रेटेजिकली थिंकिंग का मतलब यह हुआ कि आप रोजमर्रा के टास्क के अंदर, ऑपरेशंस के अंदर ना फंस जाए एंड यू मूव फ्रॉम द ऑपरेशनल, टेक्निकल और ऑपरेशनल से ऊपर उठ करके यू रीच द लेवल ऑफ स्ट्रेटेजिक विजन wherein you support your boss, you support the vision of your organization, you create documents and you create environment where your organization is going to benefit. This strategic thinking has to be part of you and me now onwards. Do you think you are still stuck in operational aspects? This could be your gap. Just think of it. The second is executive presence. That your recognition in the organization, whichever appointment post where you are, is not recognized. You are highly competent, but you are unable to make the mark in the boardroom. You are unable to show your impact, show your influence in the arena, in the office, in your professional job. Are you one of those? Where you're facing that glitch, you're facing the challenge with your boss, with the boardroom, and so on. The third one is political navigation. We just spoke about office politics. You are excellent at your work. but it doesn't really help if you are struggling with the politics of the office. Remember, you and me live in an environment where politics is part of life. घर में भी पॉलिटिक्स है, सास बहू की पॉलिटिक्स है, भाई भाई की पॉलिटिक्स है। और अगर पॉलिटिकल अरीना में देखो देश के लेवल पर, तो पॉलिटिशियंस का तो कहानी ही दूसरा। so much of political chaos existing in your organization. Are you able to navigate through this politics, or because of this politics you have got stuck? You are very good, you are very clean, very excellent at your work, but because of politics किसी ने आपकी खुजली कर दी, आपने किसी की कर दी, कोई ना कोई आपको फंसा के रखता है, so that your image with the boss doesn't match, you don't get your promotion, you don't get the deserved place, you get stuck. Are you suffering? Are you a sufferer of this? That could be your gap, which we need to together identify and move on. The fourth one is self-awareness gap. Now, majority of us know about own capabilities and incapabilities or inabilities. And when you look at that as to how Lakshmi sir, kindly put your micro on the mute. So when you put yourself on the awareness map, please identify that are you fully aware of your pluses and minuses? Or there is a gap in your understanding of your own personality, your own leadership, and you realize that, oh, this gap is causing me to find my place in life. How others look at you, you don't know. You just keep thinking that I'm the best man in the room, but that may not be how the room perceives you. So if you think that people don't understand you very well, this may be self-awareness gap that you have. I'm trying to explain so that you identify any of these gaps that impact you. And the last one is communication impact gap. You're very clear in your thought process. You do things absolutely right, but your communication is not compelling. You are unable to convey what you want to convey. And sometimes it happens that you want to convey A and other guy perceives X. So there's a challenge in that gap. If you've been able to identify which one is your gap, that's my next question to you. Which one of the leadership gap impacts you? Kindly think over once again. I'm going to ask you the same questions, and you please interact with me on the chat box. Do you think you are suffering in the strategic thinking, in executive presence, in political chaos, in understanding yours and the environment, perceiving your abilities, and the communication impact? Write A, B, C, D, E in the chat box, please. If you understand कि इनमें से कोई मेरा एक challenge है, so that's your call. Please write any one of them. Yeah. Please use the chat box. Write A, B, C, D, E. Yeah, I'm getting the responses. Thank you very much. C is self-awareness. Thank you so much. Yeah, a lot of us, we do not know about ourselves, our capabilities. और हम अपने आप पे शक करते हैं कि आप शायद मुझ में ही कमी है, पर ऐसा होता नहीं है. In case Mr. Rajkumar joins, then maybe he'll be able to explain to you. He's been taking my mentorship for quite some time now, and he used to think that he is Mr. No Nonsense boss. He's a very highly placed gentleman, officer in a banker, but he realized that he thinks he's a no nonsense, but at the end of it, we realize that he's somebody else. Thank you so much. So I've got limited responses: A, B, C. All right. So lot of challenges in the political navigation, in executive presence. Very nice. Thank you, Krishna Palli. All right. So you realize that you and me are stuck in one or the other gap. If you've been able to even simply identify one of these gaps, we can work on this later on as you move with me in the mentorship. Let me take you to Indian knowledge system. The ancient Indian knowledge system talks about, आपने नीति शास्त्र पढ़ा होगा, चाणक्य की नीतियां पढ़ी होंगी for your response. And when you look at the Chanakya Niti, where we say Sam, Dam, Bhed, Dand, and Chanakya used this Chanakya Niti or Niti Shastra for statecraft. मैं उसी statecraft को इस्तेमाल कर रहा हूँ. Lakshmi sir, request mute your phone please. So मैं इसी का इस्तेमाल कर रहा हूँ आपके और मेरे leadership के understanding में कि if you are able to persuade your competitor, persuade your boss, persuade your environment in getting a job done, you are great at SAM in persuasion. DAM is negotiation, some kind of incentive, that you play the game of DAM not only by money, सिर्फ ये money ही नहीं है. दाम refers to आप उसके लिए क्या कर सकते हो, जो वो आपको दे रहा है उसका value addition आप कैसे कर सकते हो, जो आप exchange कर रहे हैं उसका one-on-one exchange कर रहे हो, या आप सिर्फ giving stage पर है and you don't want to receive anything. Hi Naveen, heartiest welcome. I see a good old friend of mine joining. Thank you so much for joining, Naveen. I hope you're listening. So I was talking.
Yeah, thank you.
Arthashastra tells us that you and me may be not very persuasive, not very incentivizing in our operations, in our dealings, in our operations at the strategic level. The third one he uses is Bhed. Bhed is dividing or getting information or politics. So when you look at the environment and you have to make your go through, that's where Bhed helps. Bhed is information, Bhed is secrecy, Bhed is impacting the environment by means which are not listed anywhere. Chanakya used everything possible to dominate the enemy. And it was at times just the traders going and giving a lot of gifts to the enemy ministers and the military commanders. And in the garb of giving those offerings, he would kill the enemy commanders. People would not know. It may just be a struggle or a conflict between two people, a fight between two people, and his military commander is killed in the market. See, he uses this bhed very, very cleverly. So in your political arena today, we don't have to fight battles like Chanakya, but our battles in the office are as complex. And we don't have to fly the arrows today. We have to understand the environment. And having understood the environment, you can actually play your game there. And that's where you navigate without causing damage to you, without causing harm to you. And the last one is using guns. Once again, unlike Chanakya's time, we don't have to use physical force. We have to show our executive presence. We have to show our presence in the boardroom, in the leadership jobs, in the group where it matters. And if you're able to put across your point in a forceful manner, I think you and me make the butt. And we don't really have to fight it out. Now, my next question goes to you all to connect you with our DNA. What Chanakya did 2,300 years ago, it is applicable the same way today. And out of the four, Sam, Dam, Bhed and Dand, which impacts you the most adversely? आप किससे सफर कर रहे हैं? क्या आप साम नहीं कर पा रहे हैं, सब persuasion नहीं कर पा रहे हैं? You are unable to play the incentive game. You are unable to play the division politics and navigate your way through, or you are unable to show your executive presence. Please write SDBD. Oh, there are two Ds, so I'll have to actually see which D we have to go through. Right. So you may write, please, which gap resonates with you the most. For the last Dand, you may write, please, You just write A, B, C, D, and we can understand. Yeah, I have a lot of answers. Hi, Jackie. I see Jackie Goklani also. Heartiest welcome, Jackie. Jackie has also been taking my mentorship, and he is. We will hear him some in case time permits how he has felt about it. So Jackie says done. So executive presence is one which my friend Naveen also feels. Others may also join in to write. Krishna Pillai, D. So I think strategic thinking. Okay, very well, very well. D, Pratima. So D takes the cake. That means what? That you and me are unable to make our executive presence. I'll go back a slide to once again show you as to where we are lacking. We are lacking in this case. Done. Executive presence, showing our authority. Now, I'll just make a difference between these two here. To show your executive presence, you don't have to use your position, your appointment, or your formal authority. Executive presence will come by your own personal leadership connect. And by that authority, if you are able to do it, then you will not only play Dand, but you will be able to play all of them together. That's the impact of executive presence that we're talking of. And thank you so much once again for opening and participating in this exercise and the game. So by now I've done a couple of polls with you for you all to understand as to where you are. And having understood where you are in terms of our authorities, let me take you a step forward to understand the first paradox. And the first paradox is self-awareness. We think that I'm a hell of a fannekha, but it doesn't really happen that way. There are a lot of things that you don't know that you really don't know. In the interpersonal relations, that square, if you know, facade, blind spot, arena, and the unknown. So this unknown area is the one which you do not know that you really don't know. And if you don't know that fact, forget about it. Unless somebody tells you. Unless a mentor like you sit with me and we interact and I say, oh God, you got such a fabulous ability which you don't know. And we just bring it out. You know, this is what Dronacharya did with Arjun. This is what Krishna did with Arjun. That his unknown box was reduced. Beauty is, despite people not knowing, don't know, 90% of them, 90% of you and me think that I know everything. I am a successful man. And if I am not getting something, it is not because of my fault, it is because of somebody else. The Harvard study says that there's only 10 to 15% people who know actually who they are. In our concept, we say, Aham Brahmasmi. But do you know who is Brahmasmi? That's very difficult to understand. So when you sit with the across, we measure that out. We identify where is your self-awareness ability on a higher side, on a lower side, what's your self-concept, and all that can be analyzed and personally known to you. And once you know this paradox, the game starts changing. Because this is the time you start knowing what you don't know, what you didn't know till that time. I should be able to share a lot of things with you today as we go by. And when we talk of leadership, again a study says that 75% of people, they quit just because of lack of effort. आपने किसी की प्रशंसा नहीं की, वो समझता है कि भाई साहब मैं तो गया. आपके बॉस ने आपकी प्रशंसा नहीं की, आप कहते हो कि मैं तो गया, मुझे प्रमोशन नहीं मिली. You know, 29% people think that. 69% of the people, they say that they will work hard if their effort is recognized. यार आपका रिकॉग्निशन होगा तभी आप काम करेंगे क्या? Otherwise नहीं करेंगे. No, but that's the concept people carry. And 50% of the people leave organization because of a bad manager. So you see, the majority of the world that you see is lacking in leadership. And this is the gap that I wish to put across to you, that there are 5 gaps which as a leadership I identify. And if you are able to see those gaps in you, I'll be once again seeking your personal input. This is purely for your own self to identify where you stand, where is your gap, and then we create a framework to overcome that gap. Let's see the five primary gaps that again I have identified. Initially we did the strategic thinking, then we did the Chanakya. Now we're doing the leadership gap framework part of it. The first gap is self-awareness, that you don't know your blind spot. The second thing is, gap 2 is emotional mastery. You react most of the time. गुस्सा आता है किसी भी बात पे जो पसंद नहीं आती है, गुस्सा आता है जो मेरा कहना नहीं मानता है, because you are the boss. So instead of reacting, can we respond? सोच के समझ करके बात कर. Do you lot of time get angry? If yes, then you need to work on your emotional mastery. That is your gap. The third gap is influence. लोग आपका कहना मानते हैं क्योंकि आप बॉस हैं. आप मुझे सजा दे देंगे, I'll get punished, I'll be get thrown out of the place or organization. इसलिए मैं आपकी बात मानूंगा, ऑर्डर मानूंगा. But they don't commit. They have no love lost for the job. So influence क्या हुआ? So if you are one of those where people follow you because of the authority that you carry and not because of your personality, then this gap exists in you. The fourth is visionary perspective, strategic, जो हम बात कर रहे थे कि आप रोजमर्रा की जिंदगी में फंसे हुए हैं, तो अपने ऑर्गेनाइजेशन को नेक्स्ट सेंचुरी में ले जाने की बात सोच ही नहीं पाते हैं. If you are unable to do that, you have got this visionary gap in you. And the fifth one is execution. मुझे मालूम है क्या करना है, मुझे मालूम है कैसे करना है, पर मैं करूंगा नहीं, जानबूझ के नहीं करूंगा. Then this gap exists in you. It is intentional, this plan कि मैंने करना नहीं. So you may look at any of these gaps which impact you, and I encourage you to once again write it in the chat box as to which one impacts you the most. सबसे ज्यादा आपको कौन सा असर करता है? आपका ब्लाइंड स्पॉट, सेल्फ अवेयर, राइट वन. आपका इमोशनल आउटबर्स्ट, आपका इन्फ्लुएंस, लोग आपकी बात मानते हैं क्योंकि आप बॉस हैं. गैप 4 इज विजनरी, स्ट्रेटेजिक, एंड 5th इज आप करना नहीं चाहते, एग्जीक्यूशन. I look into the chat box for your responses. Just think it over once again कि आपको सबसे ज्यादा इम्पैक्ट कहाँ होता है, कौन सी चीजें जो आपकी पर्सनालिटी में आपको असर डालती. Thank you very much. I've started getting wonderful responses. So by now you see the impacts which are coming on. Naveen, I think volume from my side I'll increase. I have increased maximum. On your laptop, request increase the same, please. So I'm getting gap 1, Naveen says. Pratima ji, gap 4, visionary perspective. Kadir 1, thank you very much. Self-awareness. So thank you very much. Now, बड़ी मजे की बात है, मैं 1 मिनट के लिए ये I'll stop sharing the screen. Jackie says number 2, emotional outburst. Jackie takes mentoring from me, and इनका गुस्सा बहुत मुझे समझ में आता है और हमने इस पे बहुत काम किया. जैकी बताएंगे कि कैसे इनको असर हुआ. You see, I love to talk for 2 minutes on this with you all. You may all like to switch on your videos. We'll talk. जब हम कहते हैं कि any of these masteries which are lacking in you, leadership framework का बात करते हैं, चाहे self awareness हो, emotional outburst हो, या strategic thinking हो, या any one of these things which are impacting you in life. और इससे पहले मैंने आपको 2-3 एक्सरसाइजेस और करवाई थी. अगर आपको याद है, नहीं तो आप अपने चैट बॉक्स में देख सकते हैं. This is the third or the fourth input that I have sought from you. I have encouraged you to write it down. और आपने बहुत इंटरेस्टिंगली उन सब के अंदर लिखा. अब आप उनको मैच कीजिए जरा. You will find a pattern in your leadership. आपने पहले जो रेस्पॉन्सेस दिए थे और अभी इसका जो रेस्पॉन्स दिया, इनको मैच कीजिए. Knowingly or unknowingly, you have shown a specific pattern in your leadership gap. It is exactly what I wanted to give you. I didn't have to explain ABC, but you've been able to do it all by yourself, by very simple such questions. And when you take my mentorship, I actually sit across one to one and do these scientific instruments. They are also called as psychological instruments or psychoanalytical instruments. They are from the psychologist's perspective. I take it from the leader's perspective. And I've conducted these in the battlefield with the military leaders, with the Army, Navy, Air Force across the board, and with the corporate, and interestingly with large number of students in the UG, PG courses and even doctorates. I realized a very, very clear pattern that emerges as a leadership profile comes up. तो जब आपकी लीडरशिप प्रोफाइल बनाता हूं तो आपको खुद समझ में आता है यार मेरी एबिलिटीज इस तरफ जा रही हैं और मेरे जो पैटर्न्स बन रहे हैं गैप्स के वो इस दिशा में बन रहे हैं एंड दैट इज एग्जैक्टली व्हाट इज योर लीडरशिप गैप. Have you been able to identify this gap? I'd love to see your response. Yeah, say yes or no. Why or no? संचित जी, आप संचित और दीप्ति आप लोग पार्टिसिपेट नहीं कर रहे हैं. It's all right if you do not wish to, but I'll encourage that you participate. You'll enjoy more. You'll enjoy more.
So sorry for that. I'm actually engaged with something, so unable to time and but I'm listening your entire session.
Continue. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for responding. And I encourage others to write whether you've been able to analyze your pattern, right? Y or N. Y for yes, N for no. By that time, I connect up again and share my presentation. Yeah. Have you been able to identify your pattern? Please write yes or no, Y or N. Okay. Little bit, no, yes. All right, yes. Right, thank you very much. Yes, no. All right. So we can discuss later in case you desire. But for all the 3 or 4 questions that have been put across, you can look into your answers and you will find a similarity of thinking, similarity of what you're getting as your leadership output. Now, when I put it in the Indian context, I realize that a lot of us as managers, not as senior leaders, we are promoted for technical skills. Manager बन गए, बहुत बढ़िया, वहां तक कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. फौज के अंदर कर्नल तक बनने में टेक्निकल स्किल्स कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं. उसके बाद जो कहानी शुरू होती है वो सीनियर लीडरशिप की कहानी होती है एंड इट इज ऑल बेस्ड ऑन योर लीडरशिप एबिलिटी. And only 12% of us, unfortunately, receive formal leadership training. I have trained hundreds of these leaders in the corporate and elsewhere. And when I ask a simple question, कि आपने formal leadership की training कहाँ से ली? Answer is zilch, and that's the truth. Because we don't train ourselves for leadership, so skills, technical skills तो आ जाती हैं, लेकिन leadership skills नहीं आ पाती. And all of us are not born with the leadership skills. We have to learn as we go by. And result ही होता है because of lack of formal leadership training, within year and a half, majority of great performers they leave. They leave the bad managers because that bad manager or a senior leader is not a good senior leader. So your high performer guys they leave. They simply jump the boat. So we have to understand that if you are a good leader, that guy who's an excellent fellow will never leave your organization. The problem is not the capability. The problem is no one has taught you and me how to lead, how to be a successful leader. And I've taken these sources right from the life. So these are existing facts that I'm sharing. And when you talk of leadership gap, you really have to see that whether it is snow, mountains, or the 5-star, you have to be hand in glove with your subordinates, with your teams. This is me in Arthashastra Pradesh and difficult areas with the troops, soldiers, rubbing shoulders. Absolutely. Naveen, you're absolutely right that there is no provision of leadership training in government sector. In fact, one of the ICI senior managers who approached me when I asked him कि भाई साहब आप तो ICICI में हो, टॉप बैंकर है, आपने तो लीडरशिप का ट्रेनिंग लिया होगा. He said, सर मुझे प्रमोट कर दिया और बोल दिया go and occupy that chair and start working. You are hereafter new leader. Now that gentleman didn't know what hit him. He was looking in the dark for somebody who can help him out. And when we interacted and spoke, he realized that he could make his way. And that's the only way to grow. Only way to grow. And one of the best aspects of leadership is just listen. Listening gives you so much. This is me in Tawang with all varieties of people trying to understand their challenges. थैंक यू जैकी. ऐसा ही होता है, सही बोल रहे हो भैया. ऐसा ही होता है. वी रियली हैव टू स्टार्ट लिसनिंग टू द एनवायरनमेंट, स्टार्ट लिसनिंग टू योर सबऑर्डिनेट. और वो जब वो होता है ना, थिंग्स स्टार्ट हैपनिंग. I was invited to Northeast Agartala to talk about the future of Northeast India in 2035 and beyond. So while I was talking of strategic thinking for the entire Northeast and India as such beyond 2035, and as to what China is likely to do, what should happen to Bangladesh, and one of my scenario building was that Bangladesh will implode. Implode means it will break from within, and you can see the signs coming. This I had given last year. 2018, I had gone to Dhaka University to present a paper of mine on the future of Bangladesh in 2030. And I had, they knew that a brigadier from Indian Army has come. तो उनके मिनिस्टर्स और उनके ब्यूरोक्रेट्स और सब के सब आ गए सुनने के लिए कि सब बात करेंगे, सब करेंगे. और जब मैंने कहा भाई साहब अगर आपने अपने ये जो रेडीमेड क्लॉथ सेक्टर है इसको नहीं बचाया तो आप डूब जाओगे. And they were all stunned. They said they're doing so well. I said politics will take you down simply because of fundamentalism and the business ethics are not going together. Your leadership and business ethics are not going together. That was 2018. This is 2025. See what is happening in Bangladesh. I'm not boasting. It is simply identifying the leadership gap and telling people कि भाई साहब ऐसा हो सकता है. You can have. Lawyers used to think यार हम तो lawyer हैं, सब कुछ हमारे कंट्रोल में है. Till I spoke to the lawyers in Agartala, April 25, and they realized कि हो वो भी इंसान है यार, वो भी लीडर है. And you see the Supreme Court Chief Justice का statement that has come yesterday. Everybody is commenting. So therefore, leadership is an essential ingredient of our life. We need to help and support each other and grow. Some of these clients who come to me for taking the support and mentorship on the leadership. And this is a very formal thing that is available, which says leadership is 4 types. Different authors, different researchers, different scientists have given different types of styles of leadership. But essentially, एक डायरेक्टिव है जो कि टेलिंग है, स्टेप बाय स्टेप, माइक्रो मैनेजमेंट. स्ट्रेटेजिक है, लॉन्ग थिंकिंग. एम्पावरिंग इज ग्रोइंग अदर्स एंड कोलैबोरेटिव इज डेमोक्रेटिक. ये 4 बेसिक्स हैं और इसी को आप घुमा सकते हैं. और अगर इन चारों में से मैं आपसे पूछूं कि विच वन आर यू फॉलोइंग, वुड यू लाइक टू आंसर? I'll go back once again to tell you, directive is being autocratic, telling people what to do, and if you don't do this you will get punishment. Directive. Strategic is thinking beyond for the organization. Empowering is you are a leader who helps growing the subordinate. Collaborative is कि मैं डिसीजन नहीं लूंगा, सबको इकट्ठा करके जो सब बोलेंगे वही मेरा डिसीजन होगा. जबकि डायरेक्टिव कहता है जो मैं बोलूंगा वही होगा. कोलैबोरेटिव नहीं कहता है. आप किस किस्म के लीडर हैं? आई वॉन्ट यू टू आंसर इन A, B, C or D. Let's attempt at that and say where you are. Yeah. That is why a lot of donkeys become leaders by virtue of their seniority. I agree with you, Naveen ji, 100%. Empowering and collaborating. Wow, wonderful. Anybody else? D, collaborating. You see, it also depends not only on personality but professional as well. A doctor cannot become a directive. He has to be a collaborative and then take a decision and explain everything to the patient. Similarly, a professor like Dr. Pratima has to interact with the students and give an overarching thing. But even in that, a guru says कि भाई जो मैं कह रहा हूं वो कर ले बाकी छोड़ दे. So that guru is also director. Or a guru could be empowering, wherein he simply teaches. Dronacharya was the one who identified specifics of all students and then grew them in their respective style, empowering. So what kind of leader you are, you just need to understand. And if you understand what kind of leader you are, then possibly you can identify your gap. And the interesting thing is that despite being one type of leader, you think you are using this dominant style, and is it the right style for your current situation? Say yes or no in the chat box, please. Is your dominant style आपकी डायरेक्टिव है, चाहे कोलैबोरेटिव है या एम्पावरिंग है? Is it the right style for your current situation, whichever job, place, appointment you are in? Say yes, no. Yes, yes, yes. Thank you very much. So most of you have said that your dominant style is very, very active, positive, and supportive to you. Having said that, let me add one more aspect to it. And this aspect is here. I'll add on what I wanted to convey. That when you are directive, you start micromanaging things. Everything, सब कुछ मैं देखूंगा, गौर करूंगा. Because you don't want a flap. You don't want a mishap. Strategic, अगर आप overthink कर ले, you start thinking for the organization for 3 years, 5 years hence. आज कौन संभालेगा organization को? Have you been able to create leaders? Have you been able to empower others so that they take day-to-day decisions and you can continue to think beyond? And if you have empowered those people, I hope you don't abandon them after some time. You have to continue to support them. And if you become collaborative, that doesn't mean that you become decisiveness. You can't avoid decision. Decision तो आपको लेना ही लेना. इसलिए whichever style you have, identify your blind spot, and you will find that you will be able to do it. And remember, intention is not equal to impact. For intention to become impact, you have to actually act on it. And if you are able to identify this blind spot, you will be able to identify the cost of your blind spot. If you are not rightly using your self-awareness or your style of leader, which is applicable across all situations. And remember, in different situations, you actually apply different types of styles. It is not that you are collaborative all the time. When you are interacting with your subordinates, with your students, with your children at home, you are not collaborative. You are either empowering or at times to the subordinates, you are telling them what to do. जो नया recruit आता है, नया employee आता है, उसको आप delegate करके छोड़ नहीं देते. You have to hold his hand and tell him step by step कैसे सीखेगा. We do that as soldiers. हम सिखाते हैं एक चीज till the time he actually becomes a great leader. कॉर्पोरेट के अंदर अगर आपने नहीं सिखाया, उस हाई पोटेंशियल को नहीं पकड़ा, तो वो बंदा छोड़ के चला जाएगा कहीं और. So your blind spot is very expensive. You have to understand this. In collaborative, you get maximum participation of your subordinates. Absolutely fine. But you have to see if it's a critical situation, crisis, you can't be calling everybody and taking a collaborative decision. Then you have to be directive because crisis है. उनको बाद में समझा देना. लेकिन आपके पास टाइम है, by all means, please take information, please take the best people, their advice, and take a collective decision. Absolutely phenomenal, excellent. When blind spot is not identified, innovation dies. Directive के अंदर innovation खत्म है. Team becomes dependent on you. You tend to burn out. आप खुद ही लगे रहेंगे, team नहीं काम करेगी. And as a result, results will start plateauing. Actually, the results must keep increasing. It doesn't happen. और अगर आप अपने ब्लाइंड स्पॉट को देख सकते हो, आप उसको फिक्स कर सकते हो. इफ यू कैन सी इट, यू कैन फिक्स इट. बट हाउ डू यू सी दैट? If you are capable of doing it all by yourself, go ahead. Otherwise, mentors like us are available. Do take help and learn and know. And if you know this, then you will also know which style to be used in what kind of situation. I was just talking of crisis. In crisis, only directive works, no one else works. In developmental cases, the empowering works when you have to grow a team. The team building works, collaborative. In innovation, the frameworks of strategic empowering, it works. It is a innovation is a great collaborative work. And when you're planning, it is primary is strategic. When you have to think. How do you use each one of them? It's open and available to you. I am showing this a quick video to you. He is Mr. Rajkumar, a very senior banking official. Listen to what he has to say
बट
about
अपने ऊपर जो मेरे साथ जो जो आपने रिफ्लेक्शंस मुझे दी ना सर, इट वाज मतलब रियली बहुत ही मतलब यार ये मुझे चाहिए था, वो मिला मुझे. बस मुझे सर आपके सेशन से आई डोंट नो व्हाट विल आई विल बी द अचीविंग एंड व्हाट विल बी द ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन. सब्सिक्वेंटली फ्यू मंथ्स विल बी काइंड ऑफ थिंग कि उसके एविडेंस बनेंगे. लेकिन अभी एज ऑफ नाउ मुझे जो क्लैरिटी चाहिए थी कि मैं तुरंत क्या बोलूं कि रोहित सर के सेशन से मुझे तुरंत क्या मिला, तो वो मिला जो मुझे आई वाज नॉट श्योर कि लेफ्ट और राइट. तो वो सर ने बता नहीं राइट जाना है, फिर लेफ्ट और राइट तो सर ने बता नहीं लेफ्ट जाना है. तो वो लेफ्ट एंड राइट वाला जो हर सेशन में मुझे जो राइट, चाहे वो हम आईपीआर से शुरू करें, ईआई से शुरू करें या लीडरशिप ट्रेट में आए, तो वो जगह मुझे सर मिली यहाँ पे करके. तो इसलिए माई ग्रीड और माई सेल्फिशनेस इज दैट that's I would like to have a mentor like you along with me for the at least जब तक possible है तब तक, जब तक आप इस टाइम स्पेयर कर पाएंगे सर, फॉर्मली और इनफॉर्मली बोथ वे सर. तो मैं बहुत ही आई एम रियली थैंकफुल एंड हैप्पी दैट्स आई गॉट यू एज अ मेंटोर. एंड जो मेरे अभी इमीडिएट डेस्टिनी जो सॉरी इमीडिएट गोल है टू गेट प्रमोटेड वाला, उससे मुझे काफ़ी कुछ एक कॉन्फिडेंस भी आया है. एंड आई होप कि मैं आई विल बी श्योरली सक्सीडिंग इन दिस ऑल्सो, बिकॉज जो और सारी चीज़ें थी जिनमें में एक बड़ी भूमिका रहती है प्रमोशंस में, जैसे जीएम सर की रिकमेंडेशन और आरएस सर से रिकमेंडेशन की क्या है करके, तो उस एंगल से काफ़ी चीज़ें अलाइंड फॉलो हुई हैं करके सर. मतलब वर्क इन प्रोग्रेस डेफिनेटली, तो वो चीज़ भी एक अच्छी हुई है सर. बट
Actually, this is just one sample that I have shared with you. The number of these people who are with me, and why are they with me or why am I doing it, is a very simple thing. There are a couple of books to my credit that I have written, Lead Like a Legend, Indian Armed Forces in Nation Building, and the next one that is coming is Leadership Beyond Barracks. Is all because what I learned in my service in 37 years, commanding troops, commanding in difficult situations. And now a large number of corporate people are approaching me for the leadership sessions, identifying their leadership qualities, identifying self-concept and taking them to a level where they can actually perform. Mr. Raj is one such example which I have just shared with you. And what I wish to convey to you is that in such cases, when you are doing very critical things, pause, assess and adapt. PAA. Just use this practical tool. For more we can discuss. The time today doesn't permit that. You need to understand what is the situation, what is the urgency, assess that. फौज में हम कहते हैं कि what is the situation, what is the review of the situation and what is the recommendation of the situation. हम बहुत सिंपल सा तरतीब फौज में ये करते हैं. जब मैं कॉर्पोरेट में आगे देखता हूं तो पॉज, एसेस, अडैप्ट आर द थिंग्स व्हिच आई फाइंड वेरी एप्लीकेबल टू द कॉर्पोरेट, सिविल, गवर्नमेंट एंड प्राइवेट ऑर्गेनाइजेशंस. एंड आई यूज अ वेरी सिंपल ACE framework of awareness, clarity and execution. If I'm able to give you this awareness, I am able to give you clarity and execute flawless, things would fall in your place. I have a 7 days challenge plan which is available to all of you, And first 3 days we do the awareness part. Next 2 days we practice it, and last 2 days, 6th and 7th, we experiment to understand and start applying in life. If any one of you needs, I can always help you out. Anyone who wants to go deeper, I can give you the more than this awareness and changing the overall behavior of yours, changing the personality profiling, changing the leadership profiling. And this I do either 101 or 101 many. I go to a lot of universities, corporates to deliver such items, such practices to the leadership. And anyone who is wanting the 30 minutes free discovery session is available to you. It costs whatever outside, but all those who are joining can take it free, 30 minutes discovery session, where I'll do a complete leadership style assessment of yours, identify some blind spots right away, make a 90 days roadmap for you to understand, and discover what is your plan. The Calendly link I had already posted in the chat box. I'll once again post it just before we go ahead. And anyone who's wanting it is available to you. This is my leadership style quick reference guide that is available to you. Please join my LinkedIn community that I talk about the leadership. Join my WhatsApp group where we have a lot of leaders. We exchange ideas. We talk about leadership. We help each other in growing. And if you like, I can give you the email support. You may book your 101 Calendly strategy leadership call. It is available to you. A lot of testimonials are available.
But apne
many. It's just that. So what I have attempted to convey is that you and me are leaders. We have abilities. We have our gaps. We need to identify where we are, and we need to grow over there. To help out, I do this free discovery session, which is there on the chat. I'll put it once again, and you can connect up with me for more. And all that say that we all know already that great leaders they are not born, they are built. What is my last line is one conscious choice at a time. This is the conscious choice that you take. And if you are able to take this conscious choice, I think your leadership profiling gets set for life. With this, I finish with the normal part of my talk. It's just 1 hour. I've been able to finish in time. 8:05 we started, 9:05 we finished. Thank you so much for being with us. I'll just go over that Calendly link. I'll just give you once again Calendly link. Some of us who joined later, they may have not seen that. So this link is here. Anybody is wanting this free session is available to you. Any questions? I'm open.
So very good, Brigadier Jivan. You've done well. Very nice.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
I think I just want to say that we all are leaders, but if we have mentors, we can do better. We can improve ourselves. Mentors are required for every leader.
Right. Thank you,
okay,
sir.
thank you very much. Thank you. All the best.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Pratima ji, like to say something? Add on your valuable experience, please.
It's really wonderful and very insightful leadership, this webinar. And really, this is the fact without mentors, because always we can grow, we have to grow, and we need a wonderful mentor also, so that we can improve ourselves. This is very important. Mentorship and guidance is very, very important. Without this, I don't think anyone can be a good leader.
Very true.
So I love this webinar, and I actually want to learn the timings from the military person because for some years, I am missing this, because I will try from today that I must be always on time. As
प्रतिमा, आपके तो घर पे बहुत सारे मिलिट्री वाले हैं.
सर, हम लोग तो रियली हम लोगों को बहुत मिलिट्री उसमें रखा गया, बट इट वाज द चाइल्डहुड टाइम बिफोर 9th स्टैंडर्ड. इसके बाद में एवरी
जी.
was settled in different places, and before last 3-4 years or 5 years, I was really very active and on time person.
Thank you. Thank you very
But
much. Let me go
find out
to,
this.
yeah, let me go to my friend Naveen. I'm seeing you after a very, very long time, Naveen. I'm so happy that
Yes, sir.
you took out some time. He himself is very busy. He's recently been awarded at the national level. So heartiest compliments, Naveen. I really loved seeing you on the stage. I love to have your feedback, your comments, and suggestions for all of us to improve together.
Thank you, Jeevan. It is always motivating to hear you every time. जब भी तुम्हारे साथ बैठता हूँ मैं अपने टाइम स्पेंड करते हैं तो आई ऑलवेज लर्न ए लॉट whether it is a behavioral aspect, whether it is a personality aspect, whether it is leadership aspect. तो हमेशा मैं you always impress me.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
सो आज जैसे ही आपका मैसेज आया तो आई थॉट के आई शुड सर्कुलेट इट इन माय ग्रुप्स, इन माय एम्बेड ऑनलाइंस,
Wow.
सो दैट इनको अगर कोई मतलब एक अपॉर्चुनिटी मिल रही है सो दैट क्योंकि आज के टाइम में देखो बातें तो सब करते हैं बट इन ट्रू सेंस टू फाइंड ए गुड मेंटर, ए गुड लीडर जिससे आप सीख सकते हैं, जिससे आप अपने लाइफ में अपने जो गोल्स हैं उनको अचीव कर सकते हैं, जिनकी हेल्प से आप अपनी पर्सनालिटी को इम्प्रूव कर सकते हैं, अपनी अंदर लीडरशिप क्वालिटीज को इनकलकेट कर सकते हैं, तो वो आपसे बेहतर कौन हो सकता है। तो इसलिए मैंने आज ग्रुप में सर्कुलेट किया तो उसमें डॉक्टर प्रतिमा ने ज्वाइन किया है, डॉक्टर नरेंद्र ने ज्वाइन किया है, संचित जी ने ज्वाइन किया है।
Wow.
सो दीप्ति जी ने छोड़ दिया बट ही इज ऑल्सो इन माई ग्रुप।
Okay.
तो आई थॉट के भी कुछ ना कुछ तो आपसे इनको सीखने को मिलेगा ही, क्योंकि
Wonderful.
आपका मतलब यू हैव वेरी वास्ट एक्सपीरियंस। प्रतिमा जी इनका मैं बताऊं राजस्थान बोर्ड में जो मेरे ख्याल 6-7 की बुक्स में आपका स्टोरीज हैं
Class 6 में.
जीवन की, हैं जी,
क्लास 6 में संस्कार
क्लास
सौरभ
6
में
में
आज का
इन्होंने
महाराणा.
इन्होंने जम्मू कश्मीर में व्हेन ही वाज पोस्टेड जीवन, तो इन्होंने वहां पर रेलवे ट्रैक पे एक बॉम्ब को डिफ्यूज किया था अपनी जान पे खेल के, और हजारों लोगों की जान बचाई थी जो ट्रेन में थे। अदरवाइज वो ट्रेन जो है उस बॉम्ब के ऊपर से निकलती और बॉम्ब ब्लास्ट हो सकता था। विदाउट द हेल्प ऑफ एनी बॉम्ब, जो स्क्वाड होते हैं उनकी हेल्प के बिना ही इन्होंने डिफ्यूज किया था। और वो स्टोरी जो है वो बुक्स में
So, ये 60 सोशल स्टडी में है.
6 की राजस्थान के बोर्ड की जो निकल, तो
की
वो चीजें जो हैं जो इस तरह के
सोशल
पर्सनालिटी
स्टडी
से
की
जब
बुक में है,
आप सॉरी,
राजस्थान बोर्ड वाली में.
हाँ जी, तो इस तरह की पर्सनालिटी से जब आपको सीखने को मिलेगा तो डेफिनेटली बहुत ही वो आपकी पर्सनालिटी के लिए, डेवलपमेंट के लिए, ग्रोथ के लिए बहुत सार्थक होगा। तो थैंक यू जीवन, थैंक यू वेरी मच। एंड कभी मैं अपने ग्रुप में एम्बेड ऑनलाइंस में एक बार मैं चाहूंगा कि कभी आपका सेशन रखूं सो दैट आपसे जो है वो लोग मोटिवेट हों, इंस्पायर हों
Sure.
और आगे ग्रो करें वो लोग।
Absolutely. Absolutely. Phenomenal. Let me see who else is here who can like to
सर
Sanchit.
लाइव सेशन.
Yeah, Sanchit, आप कुछ कहना चाहेंगे डॉक्टर नरेंद्र बिफोर वी क्लोज?
Yeah, hello, sir. Uh, Actually, I have also been into the management for most of my career, and it's very true that such kind of trainings never happens for the leadership programs. And though I had some, my boss, he became my mentor as I grew forward in my career. So definitely learned a lot from him. But again, coming back from somebody new and excuse me, and the kind of experience what you have shared, and the slides were totally, making, like, thinking a separate methodology at all. Like, it's not that normally what we discuss and what we talk about leadership, even working in corporate, I guide my team how to take actions, how to work, and all that. But still the kind of wordings and the kind of messages I got from your this, that will be really helpful for guiding others, and as well as for myself. So I hope that should definitely learn something from it, and move ahead. So thank you so much. It was a really
That's
wonderful session.
that's wonderful. Thank you so much, Sanchit. I love to help your company in case you need mentorship there or leadership sessions or workshops. I'll be very happy to
Definitely, sir.
support.
I'll check if it is there. But we are basically into the education segment. So a very young team, probably people working around 24, 25 years of ages on an average. So I'll definitely check with them if matlab, something can be worked out. So definitely I'll
Yeah,
come back to you.
that will be great.
Yeah,
Great.
thank you.
Right. Oh, thank you. Thank you very much. Anybody else? Dr. Narendra, are you there? I think he's
Dr.
unable to.
Narendra is a dentist basically. He is from Anta,
Yeah, I spoke
Kota.
to him before the session started. He had
Okay.
joined a little early, so we had a chat. But I think
Okay.
he's unable to take the mic.
Yeah.
But it's all right. Thank you all. Thank you so much for being part of this wonderful evening. You given this 1 hour of your life to me is a debt. I'm indebted. Thank you so much. Been lovely. Thank you. Namaskar. Jai Hind. Thank you, Naveen. Have a
Thank
great
you. Thank
time.
you,
Bye
Jeevan.
bye.
Thank you very much.
Bye.